Today, people would get a chance to go back to school and learn things that are useful. The universities, we see the cities in the future would be university cities. People would always be learning and participating. And in the future, you think about it today, you're only on the backs of about 100 people that brought you different technologies that support the system. We'd only need about 7,000 people on a total global scale to make a paradise of the whole world. Because this is a global system. It couldn't be done by just one village or one eco-village. A lot of people think, well, they want to just go build this and build an eco-village and it would be a resource-based economy. Well, they're really wrong, because what's most important is understanding the behavioral aspects of the Venus Project. And you can't just build a village that's self-sustaining and good for those people within that system and put a wall around it and expect if the rest of the world falls apart that city won't be invaded. It's a global problem, and we want to introduce a whole new social design, and if people like it and work toward it, we might be able to get it. But the first thing we'd like to do is a major motion picture to introduce this direction to the entire world and have people of all different races in it. It's not just for one country. It won't work that way, just like it's not just for one city. So this movie, we'd like to show life in the future in a resource-based economy, because this is not like anything else. People always project it as being communism or socialism or free enterprise system or fascism. It has nothing in common with any of those systems. It's brand new. So we want to show it in a film, and then the film would answer questions that people have and show how we get from here to there. And hopefully at the end of the film, we would show that we're breaking ground on the first city, one of Jacque's cities that he designed.
A lot of people think I'm an architect and I want to design new cities. That wouldn't change the world. It's our way of thinking that's loused up.
That doesn't solve the problems that we have today. A new green city or a green building, it doesn't even address what the real problems and the real issues are. And prejudice and bigotry and patriotism that they feed people. They fill people's heads with junk that make it impossible for them to solve their problems. They give them religion that helps support this system. There will always be wars and rumors of wars. You know, we'll always have the poor amongst us. That's right. We don't buy that at all.
I think we can solve any problem, because they said make a hydrogen bomb, make a bomber. We don't say to scientists, build safe automobiles with sensors on them so they can't hit each other. The Venus Project says take down the signs that say drive carefully, slippery when wet. Put abrasive in the highway so it's not slippery when wet. There are signs that says drive carefully, school children crossing. When the school children press the button to cross the street, the pavement turns up, so no car can hit a kid. You understand? Our problems are technical, not political. All television sets, all laboratories for heart disease will be fully equipped. You don't go to schools, we need 10 cents a served bucket of food for the poor Africans. We take care of the whole works. Education for living and how to find meaning in your own life. The most important thing for you to learn is how to relate, how to communicate without hatred. If somebody says, well, what if a person wants to build a swept forward wing and another person back with swept? Who decides which one is used? Nobody. We build both. Who makes a decision in the new society? Take it from there.
Nobody makes the decision. For instance, in the agricultural belt, we analyze the soil. We bring it to the agricultural center and analyze the soil. And then from that, through research and through testing and through the scientific method, we realize that it's best to grow a certain crop. and then rotate after a few years. We'd like to, after the film, because people have to understand the direction and see if they want to work toward it. If they don't, it won't happen, as I mentioned. But the first city we look at as a transitional city, but the people within that city would be working on the blueprints and the automated machinery to do the next city. It would be people there doing books and videos and gaming and all sorts of media to reach the rest of the world as to what this system really is and showing the new value system. Even if you took people of today and moved them in a beautiful city, they'd have the same problems. So you really have to reorient them to a different way of thinking, and what way of thinking would help perpetuate this emergent society that we're talking about.
Now, let me just put it your way. When you open the Bible and read it, he says, this is what Jesus mentioned. He says, no, he meant that. He says, you're both wrong. He meant that. So you have the Lutheran, the Seventh-day Adventist, the Catholic, because it's subject to interpretation. Is it possible to develop a language that's not subject to interpretation? Mathematics? Chemistry? When chemists write a formula, guy says, I think he meant this. No, it's understood. Engineering standards, a guy doesn't say, believe me, this is strong. He gives you the tensile strength, the torsion strength, the compression strength. So if people interpreted engineering drawings their own way, you couldn't build bridges. The guy says, I think the beams are there. Oh, yeah, this big. So it would not work. So technological language is the closest language to direct communication. That's why I tell you the language you've learned is hundreds of years old. It's not appropriate. They use words like good and bad, right and wrong, black and white, a thief, an honest man. Al Capone opened more soup kitchens during the federal government's period of the Depression. Was he good or bad? In some areas he was good, some areas he was bad. Now let's take another phony word, love. Do you like everything you've ever done in life? Of course not. So if you live with a replica of yourself, how long will you be together? Think about that. So what happens in language is we keep growing. If you sometimes you like yourself, sometimes what a stupid thing I did, what a real dumb thing I did. So love is fluctuating. It's never constant. If you get married, sometimes you love your wife very much, sometimes a little less, sometimes how did I ever get into this situation? So love is not a constant. We have to take all the old language and redefine the terms. A person comes up to me, this is true, and says, I'm a nature lover. I'm sure you've heard that. I mean, you like earthquakes, that's natural, kills millions of people. Hurricanes, tsunamis, disease, all natural. Rattlesnake. Some things about nature you like, other things you don't. But they're brought up, say, I'm a nature lover. I don't understand why people can't see that. Obviously, it's because they haven't been exposed to other systems. So our schools are frozen, our junior grade schools, our universities are all loused up. We're going to change everything in the culture. So a person says to me, you know, I was introduced to Bucky Fuller when I was a kid. He said to me, you're going to try to change the world. I can't even get a new car out there. How are we going to do that? I'm not interested in patchwork. If we don't change, we'll kill each other and destroy the earth, the atmosphere, and the oceans. We pump all ships today, the bills out into the ocean. Worse than all the oil spills. The reefs are dying. If you don't do that, you won't have a future. That's why I do what I do, because I'm very concerned about the direction people are moving in. Even scientists should form a united front and say, no, wait a while, this isn't going anywhere. You know, they built a place for senators under a mountain with enough food for 6 months. What do you come out to? A radioactive world? How stupid can you be? I do a lecture called The Limitless Dimensions of Human Stupidity. And that's today. We are not civilized yet. It's an ongoing process. We never arrived. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I really deeply appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
And thank you again.